Good morning, I'm Kathy Kiely, President of the Ad Club, and welcome back to the Big Orange Couch. We're joining John Pepper, the CEO and co-founder of Boloco today on the Big Orange Couch. Thank you, John, for being here.
You're welcome. It's a treat.
And we're coming off of a very successful CMO breakfast. You did a tremendous job.
It was fun.
Yeah, people really enjoyed it. People loved the burritos. The
Good.
Truck driver
It's good
burrito or
truck stop.
truck stop.
Yeah.
People love that.
Yeah.
So people love it on the Big Orange Couch when you talk about your personal life and you get a little behind the scenes of your life. Tell us about life before Boloco.
Life before Boloco.
Was there life before Boloco?
There was life before Boloco. There was even life before burritos for me. So I grew up in the Midwest. I'm from Cincinnati originally. We moved around a lot. I actually lived in Europe a few different times when I was growing up. So I got to live in Rome and Brussels and lived in a family of where my father worked for a large consumer brand company for 40 years. So grew up learning and being surrounded by discussions of brands for a long time. And frankly didn't understand most of it and didn't care about most of it. I ended up going to Dartmouth College up in Hanover, New Hampshire, and I was graduated from there in 1991. I was a history major. One of my summer jobs, which is, you're always trying to relate what were you doing back then that relates to what you do now, and was I sold cutlery for Cutco knives. I thought I was having a job interview, and of course they took money from me to buy my demo set of knives.
Many a student has fallen for the Cutco.
Oh yeah. Well, it's 1990. There weren't a lot of jobs, or at least not for me. So that was what I did that summer.
Talk about social media, how you use it, and a little bit of the pros and the cons, because you have had some fame in the social media.
You know what social media does? It puts things on other people's terms. When people walk into a restaurant, it's typically in our terms, right? We built the restaurant, we designed it so that they would walk where we want them to walk, sit where we want them to sit. And it's kind of hard sometimes to give real feedback in that setting. And that's why a lot of people say, well, if one person makes a complaint, there's 10 others right behind them. Okay. Social media sort of changes that equation. I'm not sure what the change is, but people are speaking, and they're speaking up, and they're not afraid to a point of, where it scares a lot of people because you hear so many things you don't want to hear. There are companies out there where they literally, their main job is to just try to figure out how to eliminate all negative feedback, right? But we look at it as this is real, this is what's happening, and this is our opportunity to respond, to learn, and to create a dialogue with people who love us or hate us. But when you create a dialogue, there's a relationship.
Sort of staying with that train of thought, you have a 15th, I think you're calling it an anniversary or a birthday. Birthday, that's better. It's more fun.
We're a human brand.
Right.
We celebrate
a human
birthdays.
brand and it's more fun.
We didn't get married 15 years ago.
That's right.
We were born 15
What
years
are you
ago.
doing that's kind of fun and new and different? What are you experimenting with for the birthday?
Birthdays are our chance to do a lot of interesting things because it's our birthday, We usually give a lot of things out on our birthday. So we're doing 15 free burrito days, which incorporates all 18 of our restaurants. Just as importantly, maybe more importantly, is like we always do, we're supporting a really good cause. So it's the Life is Good Playmakers. What we love about those guys is that it's all about optimism, and it's all about looking forward, and it's smiles on your faces. Even when we all know not everything's perfect. Yeah. But the best way to overcome that is through play and through optimism. And so we buy into that, and our goal is to raise $25,000 during the course of our 15-year birthday celebration on behalf of the kids that Life is Good Playmakers supports.
Talk a little bit about the passion that goes into these burritos and the fact that it's not Mexican. It's, you talked about living in Europe. These are internationally inspired, and your tagline refers to inspired, which when you first hear inspired burritos, you scratch your head.
Do you? Yeah, you do, right?
About it. Yeah. And your burritos are unique to any other burrito, and they're not Mexican. Right.
Well, first of all, there's nothing wrong with a Mexican burrito. Meaning that's what got me into this thing in the first place, is just a passion for Mexican burritos of the kind that everybody talks about as being the authentic kind. So there's nothing wrong with that. I think the difference is, and what drives us from a product standpoint today is, you can only have a Mexican burrito so often.
Right.
At least as you get into your 20s and 30s, right? You need something different. You need something sometimes less.
Yeah.
These are big. This is a lot of caloric content here. So we really felt that one way we could be different is just providing people with options that allow them to use and indulge, so to speak, in Boloco throughout the day. And that comes in the form of the different portion sizes we have and in the different flavor profiles, so that if someone doesn't feel like Mexican, they can still come to Boloco.
So just one last question,
Yeah.
and then we'll wrap it up. The piece of advice that you would give to an entrepreneur?
That's a big one.
I know.
Do we have another hour? No.
No, this has to be your one poignant moment.
I mean, one thing about being an entrepreneur, you absolutely have to stick with it. I mean, you have to continually question what got you into the business in the first place. Make sure that you evolve that as necessary, that you have some instinct as to how things are changing around you. But if you really believe in what you're doing, deeply about it, not just believing that you can be successful. Believing that you can be successful is very different than believing in what you've chosen to do. But half the battle or more, I don't know the exact percentage, is sticking with it literally. Just going in day out, knowing that when you go to bed at night and you've had a really rough day, or you have 365 of those days in a row, that maybe on that 366th day, you're gonna feel good and passionate, and you have to believe in something deeply.
So we thank you for joining us on the Big Orange Couch, and we thank you for joining us again on the Big Orange Couch. And we have a parting gift. Very few people in the world can wear this T-shirt.
Okay.
That I'm about to give you.
Well, I can't wait.
And it says, I sat on the Big Orange Couch.
Love it.
So maybe someday you'll bump
I'll wear
into
it today.
someone else. So there you go.
I'm going to put it on.
Today. Flaunt it.
Okay.
So thank you so much.
Great.
We appreciate
Thank you so
it.
much.
Okay.
Thanks.